All right, brother. Tell me your name, man.
My name is Steve Tyrone Jackson, aka gang name at one time was CY from 5'6".
All right, 5'6". What is that, brother?
Syndicate. It was basically wasn't a really a Crip gang. It was more of a hustler gang, but we had Crip roots.
All right, and where's 5'6" Syndicate from? What
Um,
street?
well, at one time all of the 50s from Western Avenue to Hoover used to be Syndicate. You know what I mean? Then in '79 they turned into Fido's Hoover, and then in '80, then in '87, '89 they started 5'5" in Hood, 5'7", 5'8", and different things like that. We have no little homeboys. Syndicates have no little homeboys. My youngest partner from my neighborhood is 52 years old. You know what I mean? So we wasn't out there recruiting because we was into selling drugs, robbing jewelry stores, bank takeovers, market takeovers, and stuff like that. Um, and but we understood that the gang scenario was real for us also because sometimes, we go to different neighborhoods, they might bring gang stuff to us and we would respond in the same manner. Other than that,
Right.
we just in a neighborhood recruiting people to go rob with us, or people that we met in juvenile hall or through other people. You know what I mean? We would be in these different neighborhoods, blood neighborhoods and stuff like that. And with me having a big family, I got bloods in my family, so I kind of grew up in those areas too. So that allowed me to meet a lot of different brothers.
All right, so let me ask you this, man. There was when I went to St. Bridget's, the
St. Bridget.
Catholic school right there on 52nd and Western, right? And I
Yes, sir.
remember back in the days there was the catwalk Crips.
Yes, sir.
What was that about, and when did that start? And did 5'6" Syndicate ever deal with the catwalks? Or
Well, like I said, we grew up together. You know what I mean? So far, we went to elementary school and junior high school together because those were the only schools that was in our area that we went to. So we knew some of them dudes. You know what I mean? And by them being in the same neighborhood in the '50s, we would always be in their neighborhood and whatnot. They was catwalk, but that was just basically based on a catwalk that went through the middle of the street.
I
You know
remember
what
the
I mean?
catwalk.
And went there. So like I say, they was never really associated with us. You know what I mean? Because they was into different things than we were at the time.
Right.
Like I say, you know, when the '80s and the '90s hitting, these dudes doing jewelry store robbery, we was doing that in the '70s.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was totally different. Matter of fact, I was just with a ex catwalk dude about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
So
But
how old would they have to be? Would they be the same age?
they would be around the same age or just about 3 or 4 years younger than me. That's about it.
Right. So let me ask you this: there was a chicken stand on the corner of 50th and Western. I don't know if it was Church's, Jim Dandy,
Well,
one of
no,
them.
no, that was on Vernon and Western. That was the church's chicken. The chicken place that they had in the '50s was a 53rd Street, right across the street from St. Bridget's. Well, right across the street from Western Avenue Elementary School, right next door to St. Bridget's. You had Golden Chicken.
Golden Chicken.
You had Golden Chicken.
So
Matter,
listen, I was going to ask you that because I know across the street from the elementary school there was also a McDonald's right there.
yes.
Right, but
Yeah.
so I know that area,
Yeah.
Chesterfield Square, that's V&G hood. But I'm asking like around 50th Street, 48th Street. What was that neighborhood
Well,
though?
between 48 and Western to 48 and Slauson, from 48 and Western to Western and Slauson, from Western and Slauson to Figueroa and Slauson, all the way down to about 50th in Figueroa. Right, all that used to be syndicates. All that
Okay,
used to be
but what was on the other side on Western? How far did the
Well,
V&Gs
the
go down?
V&Gs went from Western Avenue to Second Avenue.
Okay, but how far like north did they go to 48th? Did
Well,
they go
no,
to
they went
Vernon?
from. Well, at one time, it was more like a state scenario. You know what I mean? It was like they might have went from Slauson and Western going west, right,
Yeah.
to Slauson and 48, right?
Uh,
Those is V&Gs.
right.
But now when they got to like uh, when they got to like Second Avenue or Arlington, it went from 48 to 52nd Street.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then later on, you know what I mean? You had these little offshoots from these old different gangs and stuff. Then they started the V&Gs over here and the
Right.
avenues and stuff like that. Um, it was just totally different, man, because the whole lay of the land was different. Because the era was different. You know what I mean? People start choosing sides. You know what I mean? It's like the Taggart situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, I'm a tagger. You know what I mean? But because I'm from this side or this part, you know what I mean? And I know these dudes, my association is either with Bloods or with Crips.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this now, because I talked about St. Bridget's, and when you was 14 years old,
Yes.
something happened at the St. Bridget's Church, brother. Can you talk about it? If you don't want to, I understand, brother. But
the story that was put out there to the media, and I remember it was all in the newspaper, all in the radios and stuff. The police killed my father in the church, which is kind of devastating for me because of the fact that I thought the church was a sanctuary, a place of safety, that people can go and feel safe and whatever. And when it showed that they didn't care about this black man, my father, in this church, and come to find out he wasn't the suspect, or he wasn't the person who supposed to allegedly did something at this house, at this church, I mean, it really meant more to me then than anything else, because of the fact that we invade countries. And those members of those countries are running the church, and we'll stop bombing, we'll stop doing everything, man, until these people decided to come out this church. But the safety and the security that was afforded to them wasn't afforded to my father, and it really changed my perception about the administrative body of society. Those people that's in our neighborhood, so far as the police, who they say are the protecting and serve. We are the protecting and serving. You know what I mean? I call the police on you, right? But I'm not knowing that when they come in with murderous intent.
right.
You know what I mean? Because that situation can turn into you losing your life behind a phone call I made because you just hopped my fence or you just took a peach off my tree.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
in the black community, man, we got to stop calling the police and call each other. Call my mother, tell my mother, hey, look, man, we going to whoop your son if you don't whoop him because he keep hopping the fence.
Well, it used to be like that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I'm a 60s baby. It used to be like that. And you hit on the head, man. Instead of calling the police, they should call the parents, or they should call somebody, man, that they know they have some kind of influence over the individual. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that the pressures that's put on us at that time in our lives, man, when we're younger. You know what I mean? Where you told if you cry, you a punk. You know what I mean? You're not a man if you cry, or this and all this so crazy shit. We're not giving the full information, man.
But let me ask you this now. How much did that play when you went to prison? First of all, how long did you do in prison?
I did 35 years in prison. I've been out 2 months now.
What year did you go to
I
prison?
went in prison in 1985.
Okay.
I just got out.
So when you went to prison, though, how much did that play in you being able to survive because you were taught that?
Well, let me say this here. The strangest thing that really stood out for me was that I was reflecting back on a situation I was in with a female who had kids, 3, 4, and 6 years old. And we drove by the police, and the first thing them kids jumped out and said, Mama, they go to police. I don't know no other kids that see the police as adversaries like that. You know what I mean? Where you got this 3, 4, and this 6 years old who associate when they see the police, it's trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where did they get the information from? Because the mama's not putting it in their ear to watch the police, watch the police, watch the police, watch the police. So evidently they're getting this information from other entities, so far as TV, the situation and stuff like that, on how they treat people.
Right.
And then they're hearing conversation about how we were treated in certain situations by, those administrative bodies.
Right.
And it's sad, man, that we as people are just that people. You know what I mean? But we are made to feel other than that. You know what I mean? We are made to feel that we're animals. You know what I mean? The gorilla in the mist. You know what I mean? When they look at us and they see us, man, like, I'm not a big dude like I used to be. But my size itself, they see it and they become terrified.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because of the fact that of the information they was provided.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which was a bunch of stereotypical bullshit. You know what I mean? Because as an individual, as a person, I'm just a human being like you. You take the skin off, we all the same.
Right.
You cut the lights off, we all look the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I was to expire or die in some kind of manner, and my heart saved your life, right?
We all the same.
We all the same.
Yes, sir.
So you know what I mean, and we need to be made to look at the fact that we all we got.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And being all that we got, we can only uplift ourselves.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because they're not going to do it. Black lives only matter to black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They show this every day.
I appreciate you, brother, man. I thank you for your time, brother. Say your name one more time.
Yes, my name is Steve Jackson.
Yes, sir.
AKA Cy from 5'6".
And 35 years in the penitentiary.
Yes, sir.
If I could say the last thing to end this video is welcome home, brother.
Yes, sir. Let me say this. I may not be the man I used to be, but I thank God I'm not the man. I may not be the man I want to be, but I thank God I'm not the man I used to be.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you too, brother.